outro.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we are live.
I think we are live too.
We are live.
Oh,
Can we get feedback from stream chat? Is all the audio good and everything? Wait, let me respond. Yes, we are live. Okay.
hey.
So we did this last night as well, with a different group of people. So what we decided to do was, because yesterday was Friday the 13th, we thought it would be fun to just do like a casual little small cast reading of a play, which was Macbeth last night. And for some reason that we decided that was a good idea to do a cursed play on a cursed day. Everything went disastrously. It took us 2 hours to start. One of the cast members had to drop out because of a migraine. That was terrible. But today is not a cursed day. And today we're doing the Tempest. So, shall we get started? Just casual. Oh, yes, it is famous last words, maybe, but whatever. So, with that small introduction out of the way, this isn't a big Croakspeare stream. There are what? How many of us are there? 6 or so. There are 6 of us playing about 20 characters.
Oh, seven of us.
7 of us playing 20 characters, including the narrator. So, we're just gonna have a fun time. If everything goes terribly awry, it's fine, because it's not an actual Croakspeare stream. We're just gonna have fun with it. So, with that out of the way, shall we get started?
Okay. On a ship at sea, there is a tempestuous noise of thunder and lightning heard. A master and a boatswain enter.
Swain!
Here, master, what cheer?
Good. Speak to the mariners. Fall to it yearly, or we run ourselves aground. Bestir! Bestir!
Hey, my hearts, cheerily, cheerily, my hearts. Yare, yare, take in the topsail. Tend to the master's whistle. Blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough. And then Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, and Gonzalo enter. Alonso, good boatswain, have care. Where's the master? Play the men. I pray now, keep below. Where's the master, boatswain? Do you not hear him? You mar our labor. Keep your cabins. Do you assist the storm?
Nay, good, be patient.
When the sea is, hence, what cares those roars for the name of a king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not.
Good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I more love than myself. You are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks that you have lived so long and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if so hap. Cheerily, good hearts, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little have advantage. If he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the topmast, yeah! Lower, lower! Bring her to try with main course! A plague with this howling! They are louder than the weather or our office. And then Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalez come back. And what are you? Yet again, what do you do here? Shall we give you over and drown? Do you have a mind to sink?
Pox in your throat, you bawling, blasphemous, incharitable dog.
Work you, then! Hang, cur, hang! You whoreson, insolent noisemaker! We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art.
I'll warrant him from drowning, though the ship were no stronger than a nutshell and as leaky as an unstanched.
Lay her a hold! Set her 2 courses off to sea again! Lay her off!
The mariners enter. They are wet.
All lost! To prayers! To prayers! All lost!
What? Must our mouths be cold?
The king and prince at prayers. Let's assist them, for our case is as theirs.
I'm out of patience.
We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-chapped rascal, would thou might lie drowning the washing of 10 tides?
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and gape at widest to.
There's a confused noise from off stage. It says, "Mercy on us, we split, we split. Farewell, my wife and children. Farewell, brother, we split, we split, we split." Let's all sink with the king.
Let's take leave of him.
Antonio and Sebastian exit.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furze, anything. The will's above be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
He exits. It's Act 1, Scene 2. Prospero and Miranda enter.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea with the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed and the frotting souls within her.
Collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, naught knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, a master of full Porcel, and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thought.
This time I should inform thee further. Lend thy hand, and pluck my magic garment from me. Lie there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort of the wreck which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee. I have with such precision in mine art so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as a hair, bitted any creature on the vessel. Cry, which thou hearst sink, for thou must now know further.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped, and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay.
Hours now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
What? By any other house or person? Of anything the image, tell me that hath kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hast more, Miranda. But how is it that that lives in thy mind? In the dark backwards and abysm of time. If thou rememberst aught ere thou camest here, thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda, 12 years since, was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, Are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. And thy father was Duke of Milan, and thou his only heir, and princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed wast we did.
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou say'st, were we heaved thence, but blessedly halt hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you, father.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as at time through all the signories it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without parallel, those being all my study. The government I cast upon my brother. It grew stranger, being transported, and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle,
Sir, most heedfully.
being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were mine, I say, or charged them, or else new formed them, having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts in the state, to what tune pleased his ear, that now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and sucked my verdure out on't. Thou attend'st not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, with that which, but by being so retired, prized all popular rate, in my false brother awakened an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit. A confidence sans bounds. He, being thus lauded, revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth, by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory, to credit his own lie, he did believe he was indeed the Duke, out of the substitution, and executing outward face of royalty, with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing.
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played for, he needs will be absolute Milan. My library was dukedom large enough. Royalties, he thinks me now incapable. Confederates, for sway, with the King of Naples, to give him annual tribute. Subject his coronet to his crown, and then the dukedom, yet unbowed, alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event, then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now, the condition. The King of Naples, being an enemy, to me inverterate, hearkens my brother's suit. He in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all honours on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied, one midnight fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity! I, not remembering how I cried out then, will cry it o'er again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Hear a little further, and then I'll bring thee to present business, which now's upon, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. My people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. They hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged nor tackle, sail nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it. There they hoist us, he that roared to us, to sigh to the winds whose pity, sighing back again, wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim. It preserved me, infused with a fortitude from heaven when I had decked the sea with drops full of salt, under my burthen groaned, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
Providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So of his gentleness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man!
Now I arise.
He stands and he puts on his mantle, which is his magic cloak.
Sit still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here, in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can that have more time for vainer hours, and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising the sea storm?
Oh, thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore, and in mine prescience I find my zenith does depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever droop. Here, cease more questions. Incline to sleep. It's a good dullness, and give it way. Cannot choose.
Miranda goes to sleep.
Come away, servant, come. I'm ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
Ariel enters.
All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now on the beak, now in the waist, the deck, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'll divide and burn in many places, on the topmast, the yards, and bowsprit, but I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors, oh, the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary and sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seem to besiege, and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his trident shake.
I brave spirit! Who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt the fever of the mad, and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstanding, then like reeds, not hair, was the first man that leaped, cried, Hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Aye, that's my spirit! But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
Are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments not a blemish, but fresher than before, and, as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, whom I left cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
The king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed, and all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbour is the king's ship, in the deep nook, where once thou calledst me, half at midnight, to fetch dew from the still vexed Bermudes, where there she sits. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labour, I have left asleep. For the rest of the fleet which I dispersed, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. Nay,
Past the mid-season,
at least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
Oh, now, moody? Its demand.
My liberty.
For the time be out, no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without a grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No,
Thou dost, and think'st it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run across upon the sharp breath of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it's baked with frost.
I do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Eh?
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible, to enter human hearing from Argier, thou know'st, was banished. For one thing she did. They would not take her life. Is this not true?
Aye, sir.
Blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, wast then her servant. And for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands. Refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most immitigable rage, into a cloven pine, which rift imprisonst thou did painfully remain. Years, within which space she died, and left thee there, where thou didst bent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. And, save for the son that she did litter here, a freckled whelp, hag born, not honoured with the human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
All thing I say so, he that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Thou best know'st what torment I did find thee in. the wolves howl and penetrate the breast of every angry bear. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
Thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so, and after 2 days I will discharge thee.
My noble master, what shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Don't make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape, and hither come int. Go hence with diligence.
Ariel exits.
Wake, dear heart. Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Take it off, come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
As 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho, slave, Caliban? Thou speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. Come forth, thou tortoise.
Ariel enters like a water nymph, or disguised as a water nymph.
Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel, hark in thine ear.
My lord, it shall be done.
Ariel exits again.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself, upon thy wicked dam come forth.
Caliban enters.
As wicked do as ere my mother brushed with raven's feathers from unwholesome fen, drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye and blister you all o'er.
This, be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall, for the vast of the night that they may work, all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched, as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and madest much of me. Wouldst give me water with berries in't, and teach me how to name the bigger light, and how the less that burn by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle. The fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you. For I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine own king. And here you sty me in this hard rock, whilst you do keep me for the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. Thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honour of my child.
Oh, wouldn't have been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Poor slave, which any price of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I thee took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but would gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes with words that make them known. I'll race, thou though thou didst learn, and had that int which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore wast thou deservedly confined into this rock, who hast deserved more than a prison.
You taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you from learning me your language.
Accede hence! Fetch us in fuel, and be quick. Thou'rt best to answer of a business. Alice, if thou neglect'st or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, and make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. I must obey. His art is of such power, it would control my damned god, Setebos, and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
There is a broken line. F for the narrator. Okay. Caliban exits, and Ariel re-enters invisible, playing and singing, Ferdinand following. Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsies when you haven't kissed the wild waves twist. Fluttered feebly here and there, and sweet sprites that golden bear. Hark, hark, the watchdog bark. Hark, hark, I hear the strain of strutting chanticleer. Cry, cock-a-doodle-dow.
Am I back?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes, good. Where am I? Where should this music be?
Yes.
Where should this music be? Is the air or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrack, this music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. Thence I followed it, or it has drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. No, it begins again.
Full fathom flight thy father lies, his bones coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him ever fade, but doth suffer sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them, ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
Whose curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yonst.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about! Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but is a spirit.
O wench, it eats and sleeps, and have such senses as we have, such. Which thou seest was in the wreck, and but he's something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightst call him a goodly person. Fellows, and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
Goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Fine spirit. I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, what you do last pronounce is, oh, you wonder, if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep, myself from Naples, who with mine eyes never since at ebb beheld the king my father wracked.
Elect for mercy!
Yes, faith, and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
Duke of Milan and his much braver daughter could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do it. At the first sight, they have changed eyes. I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir? I feel you have done yourself some wrong. A word?
Why speaks my father so ungently? This is the third man that e'er I saw, the first that ever I sighed for. Pity moved my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir! One word more. His powers, but this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too like winning make the prize light. One word more. That thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy. Be the Lord on't.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit have so fair a house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. Speak not you for him, he's a traitor. Manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks, wherein the acorn cradled.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power. Ferdinand draws his sword, but Prospero casts a spell on him and it freezes him in place.
O dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? I say, my foot, my tutor, put thy sword up, traitor, who makes the show but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt, come from thy ward, for I can here disarm thee with this stick and make thy weapon drop.
Beseech you, father.
Hence, hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity, I'll be his surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. Advocate for an impostor, hush! Thou think'st there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but him and Caliban, a foolish wench. To the most of men, this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections are then most humble. I have no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again, and have no vigour in them.
So they are. My spirits, as in a dream, are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, all this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else o'er the earth let liberty make use of. Space enough have I in such a prison.
Works! Oh, fine Ariel. Follow me. shalt do me.
Be of comfort. My father's of a better nature, sir. Then he appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from him.
Shalt be free as the mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Follow. Speak not for him.
They exit. Act 2, Scene 1. Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, and Francisco, and loads of others enter, or some others.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common, every day some sailor's wife. The masters of some merchant and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him or so.
Look, he is winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief is entertained that offers, comes to the container.
$1.
Dolor comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord,
Fire, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
I prithee spare.
well I have done, but yet
You will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The wager?
A laughter.
A match.
Though, no, that's the wrong accent. Though this island seemed to be desert,
So you're paid.
uninhabitable and most accessible,
Yet.
yet
He could not miss.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Tempest was a delicate wench.
Aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered,
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
as if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
here's everything advantageous to life.
True, saith means to live.
Of that there's none, or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green!
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in't.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouch rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Afric, at the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
And Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since widow Dido's time.
Widow, a pox for that. How come that widow in Widow Dido?
What if he had said, Widower Aeneas, too? Good Lord, how you take it.
Widow Dido, said he. You made me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
His word is more than the miraculous harp. He hath raised the wall and houses, too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and give it his son for an apple.
And sowing the kernels of it in the sea, bring forth more islands.
Aye.
Why, in good time.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen.
And the rarest that e'er came here.
Bait, I beseech you, Widow Dido.
Oh, Widow Dido, aye. Widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my doublet as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage?
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for then, for coming thence, my son is lost, and in my reach she too, who is so far from Italy removed. I never again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and Milan, what strange fish hath made his meal on thee? Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him, and ride upon their backs. He trode the water whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bull head 'bove the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms and lusty stroke to the shore. O'er his wave-worn bases bowed, as stooped to relieve him. I not doubt that he came alive to land. No, no, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. That would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to wet the grief on't.
Prithee, peace.
You are kneel to and importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear for ever. Milan and Naples have more widows in them of this business making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak does lack some gentleness, and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most chirurgeonly.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle, my lord?
He sowed it with nettle seed.
Or docks or mallows.
And were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the commonwealth I would by contraries execute all things, for no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate, letters should not be known, riches, poverty, and use of service none, contract, succession, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none, no use of metal, corn or wine or oil, no occupation, all men idle, all, and women too, but innocent and pure, no sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on't.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce, without sweat or endeavor, treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have. But nature should bring forth of its own kind all poison, all abundance, to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects.
None, man. All idle, whores and knaves.
I would with such perfection govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
God save his majesty.
Long live Gonzalo.
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did it to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs, that they always used to laugh at nothing,
'Twas you we laughed at.
who in this kind of merry fooling am nothing to you, so you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow was there given!
And it had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere if she would continue in it 5 weeks without changing.
Ariel enters, invisible, playing some solemn music.
We would so, and then go a bat fowling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go sleep and hear us. Everyone goes to sleep except Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio. What, all so soon asleep? I wish my eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not admit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow. When it doth, it is a comforter.
We too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrously heavy.
Alonso falls asleep and Ariel exits.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
It is the quality of the climate.
Why? Doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fell together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might worthy Sebastian, oh, what might... No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst be, the occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language, and thou speakst out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is strange repose to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep, die rather wink'st, whilst thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly, there's meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too if you heed me, which to do trebles thee over.
Well, I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how you the purpose cherish, whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Ebbing man indeed, most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye and cheek proclaim the matter, a matter from thee, and a birth indeed which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, this, who shall be of as little memory when he is earthed, hath here almost persuade, for his spirit of persuasion only professes to persuade, the king his son's alive. 'Tis impossible that he's undrowned, and he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he is undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way to so high hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, without discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He is gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Claribel.
She that is Queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life, she that from Naples can have no note unless the sun were post. The man is the moon's too slow till newborn chins be rough and razor blade. She that from whom we all were sea swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
The space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Claribel measure us back to Naples, keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake? Say this were death that now has seized him, why, there were no worse than now there are. There can be that rule Naples, there be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps, lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a trough of his cheap chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What sleep with this for your advancement? Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tend to your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. and look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feater than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, now they are my men.
But for your conscience?
Ay, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kibe, 'twould put me to my slipper. But I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan, candid be they, and melted they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed for ever, whilst you, doing thus to the perpetual wink for I might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course for all the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent, as thou gost Milan. I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I raise my hand, you do the like, to fall it on Gonzalo. Antonio and Sebastian draw their swords.
Oh, but one word.
Ariel enters, still invisible, playing music and singing again.
My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, or else his project dies, to keep them living. While you do here snoring lie, open-eyed, conspiracy his time to take, if of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware, awake, awake!
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king.
Alonso?
I must have muted.
Sorry. Alonso wakes up.
Why? How now? Ho, wake! Why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Well, well, whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather, lions. Did not wake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried as mine eyes opened. I saw their weapons drawn, there was a noise. That's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island.
Lead away.
Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
They all exit. Act 2, Scene 2. Enter Caliban with a burden of wood. A noise of thunder is heard.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prosper fall and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse. But they'll no pinch, fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, no, lead me like firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness.
Trinculo enters.
Lo now, lo! Here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly, I'll fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither brush nor for a stroke to bear off any weather at all. Another storm brewing. I hear it sing of the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that would shed his liquor. If it were to have my head, if it should thunder as it did before, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same cloud cannot choose but fall by pailfuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish, a very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind not of the newest, poor John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday full there but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lazy out 10 to see a dead Indian. Legs like a man, and his fins like arms. Warm am I, troth. I do now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that has lately suffered by a thunderbolt.
There's a sound of thunder.
Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabouts. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
He crawls underneath Caliban's cloak, and Stefano enters singing. I shall not to see, I shall die sure. This is a very scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. And he drinks. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, love Mal, Megan, Marion, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate. For she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tarn or of pitch, yet a sailor might scratch her where she did itch. Then to sea, boys, and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too, but here's my comfort. And he drinks.
Do not torment me. Oh,
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men of Ind? I've not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs. For it has been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. And it shall be said so again, while Stefano breatheth nostrils.
the spirit torments me. Oh,
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who has got, as I take it, an ague. Where the devil should he learn our language? I will give him some relief if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor that ever trod on neat's leather.
do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have never drunk wine before, it will go near to remove his fit. If I can recover him and keep him tame, I will not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon. I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Stefano tries to give Caliban a drink. Come on your ways, open your mouth. Here's that which shall give language to your cat. Open your mouth, this will shake your shaking. I can tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chaps again.
I should know that voice. It should, but he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices, a most delicate monster. His forward voice now is to speak well of his friend. His backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come. Caliban drinks. Amen. I'll pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy! This is a devil, no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano, if thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo, be not afeard, thy good friend. Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any be Trinculo's legs, these are they. He pulls Trinculo out from under the cloak. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be at the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stephano? I hope now thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stephano? Oh, Stephano, till Neapolitans escape.
Prithee, do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not spirits, that's a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butter sack which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of the bark of a tree with mine own hand since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then, how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stephano, hast thou any more of this?
The old man, my cellar is in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How does thine egg?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out with the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book. I will furnish it anon with new contents. Swear. Caliban drinks.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him, a very weak monster, the man of the moon, a most poor, credulous monster, well drawn monster in good sooth.
I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I'll kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster, when God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster, a most scurvy monster. I could find in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But that the poor monsters in drink, an abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scammels from the rock. Will thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned. We will inherit here. Here, bear my ball. Follow Trinculo. We'll fill him by and by again.
Farewell, master. Farewell, farewell.
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetching fire it at requiring, nor scrape trencher, nor wash dish. Ban, ban, Caliban, as a new master, get a new man. Freedom, high day, freedom. Freedom, high day, freedom! Oh, brave monster, lead the way. Well, that was I just yoinked Caliban's lines. I'm so sorry. Do you want to do it, Caliban?
No, I'm good, thanks. Any chance to avoid singing?
I apologize. So, brave monster, lead the way. And they all exit, hopefully without any more issues. Act So that's Act 2. This is Act 3, Scene 1. Ferdinand enters bearing a log. There be some sports are painful, and their labour delight in them sets off some kinds of baseness are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This my mean task would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead, and makes my labours pleasures. Oh, she is 10 times more gentle than her father's crabbed, and he's composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a soaring junction. My sweet mistress weeps when she sees me work, and says such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labours, most busiest when I do it. Miranda and Prospero enter, but they're not seen.
Alas, now pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burned up those logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father's hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. He's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonour undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art affected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me, when you are by at night. I do beseech you chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda, indeed the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady have eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I liked several, never any was so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, so created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex, no woman's face remember, save from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call man than you, good friend. And my dear father, how features are abroad, I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel in my dower I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape beside yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, and my father's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda, I do think, a king. I would not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly below my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service. There resides to make me slave to it, and for your sake I am this patient log man.
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown what I profess with kind event. If I speak true, if hollowly invert what best disboded me to mischief, I beyond all limit of what else I the world do love, prize, honour you.
I am a fool to weep at what I'm glad of.
Rare encounter of two most rare affections. Heaven rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband, then?
Aye, with a heart as willing as bondage ere of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine, with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour ends.
1,000, 1,000. Ferdinand and Miranda exit in opposite directions.
Glad as this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. I'll to my book, for yet ere supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
He exits. Act 3, Scene 2. Enter Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo. Tell not me, when the butt is out we will drink water, not a drop more before. Therefore, bear up and board 'em. Servant, monster, drink to me!
Servant monster, the folly of this island. They say there's but 5 upon this isle. We are 3 of them. If the other 2 be brain like us, the state totters.
Drink, servant monster, when I bid thee. The eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? He were a brave monster indeed, if they were set in his tail.
My man monster hath drowned his tongue in sack. For my part, the sea cannot drown me. I swam ere I could recover the shore 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
Your lieutenant, if you list, he's no standard.
Will not run, Monsieur Monster.
Nor go neither, but you'll lie like dogs, and yet say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life, if thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honour? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve him, he's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster. I am in case to just go a constable. Why, thou debauched fish, thou was ever the man the coward that hath drunk so much sack as I today? Wilt thou tell a monstrous lie, being but half a fish and half a monster?
Lo, how he mocks me! Wilt thou let him, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
Lo, lo again! Bite him to death, I prithee.
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. If you prove a mutineer, the next tree. The poor monster's my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Will thou be pleased to hearken once again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry, will I? Kneel and repeat it. I will stand, and so shall Trinculo. Ariel enters, invisible.
As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorcerer, that by his cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest.
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou. I would my valiant monster would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, if you trouble him in any more tale by this hand, I will supplant some of your teeth.
What? I said nothing.
Mum then, and no more. Proceed.
I say, by sorcery he got this isle. From me he got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on him, for I know thou darest, but this thing dare not.
That's most certain.
Thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How now shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Yea, yea, my lord, I'll yield him thee asleep, where thou mayst knock a nail into his bed. Bede?
Thou liest. Thou canst not.
What a pied ninny is this, thou scurvy patch! I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows and take his bottle from him. When that's gone he shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show him where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt this monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee.
What? What did I didn't. I'll go farther off.
Didst thou not say he lied?
Thou liest.
So do I so? Take thou that! And he beats Trinculo. As you like this, give me the lie another time.
I do not give you the lie out of your wits and bearing too. A pox in your bottle. This can sack and drink and do. A marine on your monster, and the devil take your fingers.
Now forward with your tale, prithee stand further off.
Beat him enough. After a little time, I'll beat him too.
Stand further. Come, proceed.
Why, as I told thee, 'tis a custom with him, I the afternoon to sleep, there thou mayst brain him, having first used his books, or with a log batter his skull, or paunch him with a stake, or cut his weasand with thy knife. Remember first to possess his books, for without them he is but a sod, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate him as rootedly as I. Burn but his books, he has brave utensils, for so he calls them, which when he has a house he'll deck withal, and that most deeply to consider is the beauty of his daughter. He himself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, but only Sycorax my dam, and but she as far surpassed Sycorax, as greatest does at least.
Is it so brave a lass?
Ay, lord, she'll become thy bed, I warrant, and bring thee forth brave brood.
Monster, I will kill this man. His daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces. Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroy. Dost thou like that plot, Trinculo?
Excellent.
Give me thy hand. Sorry I beat thee, but while thou livest, keep a good tongue in thy head.
Within this half hour he'll be asleep. Wilt thou destroy him then?
Aye, on mine honour.
Yes, I will tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be descent. Will you troll the catch you taught me but while ere?
At thy request, monster, I will do reason. Any reason. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em, for is free.
That's not the tune.
Ariel plays the tune on a table and pipe. What is this same?
This is the tune of our cat to play about the picture of nobody.
If thou be'st a man, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou be'st a devil, takes thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins.
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometimes voices that, if I then had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again. And then in dreaming, the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me that, when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This will prove a brave kingdom to me, where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed,
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it, and after do our work.
Lead, monster, we'll follow. I would I could see this tabler. He lays it on.
Won't come? I'll follow, Stefano.
They all exit. Act 3, Scene 3. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and the others. All the lads.
Herlag, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze trod indeed, through forthrights and meanders. By your patience, I needs must rest me.
Old lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I will pull off my hope and keep it no longer from my flutterer. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I am right glad that he is so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forgo the purpose that you resolved to effect.
the next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight, for now they are pressed with travel. They will not or cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say, tonight, no more.
What harmony is this, my good friends? Hark!
Marvelous sweet music.
Several strange shapes enter, bringing a banquet. They dance about it with gentle actions of salutation, and inviting the king and the others to eat, they leave.
Give us kind keepers, heavens. What were these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there.
I believe both. And what does else want credit? Come to me, and I'll be sworn 'tis true. Travellers ne'er did lie, though fools at home condemn 'em.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders, for certes these are people of the islands, who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet note, their manners are more gentle kind than of our human generations you shall find. Many, nay, almost any.
This lord, thou hast said well. For some of you there present are worse than devils.
I cannot too much muse such gesture and such sound, expressing, although they want the use of a tongue, a kind of excellent dumb discourse.
Ways in departing.
They vanished strangely.
No matter, since they have left their viands behind, for we have stomachs. Wilt please you taste of what is here?
Not I.
Faith, sir, you need not fear. When we were boys, who would believe that there were mountaineers? You leapt like bulls whose throats had hanging at them wallets of flesh, or that there were such men whose heads stood in their breasts, which now we find each putter out of 5 for one will bring us good warrant of.
I will stand to and feed, although my last no matter, since I feel the best is past. Brother, my lord and the duke, stand to and do as we.
Thunder and lightning. Ariel enters like a harpy, claps his wings upon the table, and with a quaint device the banquet vanishes.
You are the 3 men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in't, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you, and on this island where man doth not inhabit, you mongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valour men hang and drown their proper selves.
Some of the courtiers draw their swords.
You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements, of whom your swords are tempered, may as well wound the loud winds, or with the mock chat stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength, and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child, for which foul deeds the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures, against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce by me, lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here, in this most desolate isle, else falls upon your heads, is nothing but hard sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Ariel vanishes in thunder. Then, to soft music, the shapes enter again and dance. They have mocking gestures and grimaces, and they carry out the table.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had, devouring of my instruction, hast thou nothing bated in which thou hast to say. So, with good life and observation strange, my meaner ministers their several kinds have done work, and these my enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They are now in my power, and in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned. Mine loved darling.
Prospero exits above.
In the name of something holy, sir, why stand you in this strange stare?
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous. Methought the billows spoke and told me of it. The wings did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced that the name of Prosper. It did base my trespass. Therefore my son is the ooze, bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than ever plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded.
Alonso exits.
But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions o'er.
Harvey by second. Sebastian and Antonio exit.
All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I do beseech you that are of subtler joints, follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
Follow, I pray you.
They all exit. And that is the end of Act 3. I believe we're having a break.
Yes,
Are we having a bit of a break? Yeah.
so it'll be 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll be back
Cool.
and do the rest of this play
Go
in which
pee or have
Prospero
tea.
talks too much.
Go get a drink.
Yes.
Hydrate. notice that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very
We're so fancy.
Real fancy.
Okay.
Oh, we're on to
We're
him.
real
Right.
fancy. That's the line that you'll get.
Very, very fancy.
We're back. Real fancy gang. Yeah. Okay, so now on to Act
fancy.
4.
Maybe we
Scene
should
1.
recap real quick,
What, recap the play?
Recap.
like where we are and shit.
We just finished Act 3 of The Tempest, and now we're doing Act 4 and 5. And it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. Yeah, let's go.
Right. Act 4, Scene 1. Enter Prospero, Ferdinand, and Durand.
I have too austerely punished you. Your compensation makes amends, for I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. I tender to thy hands. Nations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test here afore heaven. I ratify this, my rich gift. Oh, Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition, worthily purchased, take my daughter. Must break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may with full and holy rite be ministered. No sweet aspersions shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain, and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both. Therefore take heed, as Hymen lamps shall light you.
As I hope for quiet days, fair issue, long life, with such love as 'tis now, the murkiest den, the most opportune place, the strongest suggestion, our worst genius can, shall never melt mine honour into love, to take away the edge of that day's celebration, when I shall think, or Phoebus' steeds are foundered, or night kept chained below.
Barely spoke. Sit then and talk to her. She is thine own. Ariel, my industrious servant. Ariel.
Ariel enters.
What would my potent master? I was muted. Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in another such trick. Go, bring the rabble, o'er whom I gave thee power, here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently?
I, with a twink.
Before you can say come and go, and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe. We'll be here with mop and mow. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly, my delicate Ariel, till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive.
Ariel exits.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance. Too much the rain. The strongest oaths a straw to the fire and the blood. Must be more abstemious, or else good night to your vow.
I warrant you, sir, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardour of my liver.
Well, come now, my Ariel, bring a corollary. Rather than want a spirit, appear and pertly. No tongue,
Soft music
all
plays.
eyes.
Iris enters.
Eris, most bountiful lady. Ease of wheat, rye, barley, vetches, oats, and peace. Thy turfy mountains, where live nibbling sheep, and flat mead thatched with stover them to keep. thy banks with pinioned and twilled brims, which spongy April at thy hest betwins, to make cool nymphs chase crowns, and thy broom groves, whose shadows the dismissed bachelor loves, being last torn, thy pole-clipped vineyard. And they see merge sterile and rocky hard, where thou thyself dost err, the queen of the skies, whose watery arch and messenger I am. These, and with her sovereign grace, here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and sport, her peacocks fly amain. Approach, rich Ceres her to entertain.
Juno enters above the stage, descends, and Ceres also enters.
Hail, many-colored messenger, that ne'er dost disobey the wife of Jupiter, who with thy saffron wings upon my flowers diffusest honey drops, refreshing showers, and with each end of thy blue bow dost crown my bosky acres and my unshrubbed down. Rich scarf to my proud earth, why hast thy queen summoned me hither to this short-grassed green?
Contract of true love to celebrate, and some donation freely to estate on the blessed lovers.
Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen, since they did plot the means that dusky Dismas, daughter god, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn.
Her society, be not afraid. I met her deity, cutting the clouds toward Paphos, and her son, dove drawn with her, who have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid, whose vows are that no bed right shall be paid till Hymen's torch be lighted. But vain. Mars's hot minion is returned again. Her waspish headed son broke his arrows, swears he will shoot no more but play with sparrows, and be a boy right out.
Highest queen of state, great Juno comes, I know her by her gait.
Juno descends onto the stage.
How does my bounteous sister? Go with me to bless this twain, that they may prosperous be and honoured in their issue. Honour, riches, marriage blessing, long continuance and increasing hourly joys be still upon you. Juno sings her blessings upon you.
Earth increase, fires in plenty, barns and garners never empty, vines and clustering bunches growing, plants with goodly burthen bowing. Spring come to you at the farthest, in the very end of harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Ceres' blessing so is on you.
This is a most majestic vision and harmonious. May I be bold to think these spirits?
Spirits, which, by mine art, I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies.
Let me live here ever, so where a wandered father and a wife makes this place paradise. Juno and Ceres whisper and send Iris on a mission.
Sweet, now, silence! Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. There's something else to do. Hush and be mute, or else our spell is marred. This is Iris. Naiads of the wandering brooks, with your sedged crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels, and on this green land answer your summons. Juno does command. Come, temperate nymphs, and help celebrate a contract of true love. Be not too late.
Several nymphs enter.
You sunburnt sicklemen of August weary, come hither from the furrow and be merry. Make holiday your rye straw hats put on, and these fresh nymphs encounter everyone in country footing.
Several field workers enter, dressed appropriately. They join with the nymphs in a grateful dance. Towards the end, Prospero starts singing. Oh, sorry, doesn't sing. Towards the end, Prospero starts suddenly and speaks.
I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. To the minute of their plot is almost come. Avoid no more.
There's a strange, hollow, and confused noise, and spirits vanish. This is strange. Your father's in some passion that works him strongly.
Never till this day saw I him touched with anger so distempered.
Look, my son, in a move sort, as if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir, our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. Restless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, which it inherit, shall dissolve. This insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. Such stuff as dreams are made on. Little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell, and there repose, a turn or two I'll walk. Mind.
We wish you peace.
With a thought. Oh, sorry.
Ferdinand and Miranda exit.
With a thought. You'll come.
Ariel enters.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban.
Aye, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it, but I feared lest I might anger thee.
Again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking, so fond of valour that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing of their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lift up their noses, as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears, that calf-like they my lowing followed through toothed briars, sharp furzes, pricking goss and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that the foul lake o'erstunk their feet.
This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. My house, go bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves.
I go.
Ariel exits.
Devil, a born devil, on whose nature nurture can never stick, on whom my pains, humanely taken, all quite lost. And with his age, his body uglier grows. So his mind cankers, all even to roaring.
Ariel enters again, wearing sparkling clothes and all.
Hang them on this line.
Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo enter, and they're all wet.
Pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are near his cell.
Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us.
Monster, I do smell all horse piss, and which my nose is in great indignation.
So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you.
Thou wert but a lost monster.
Good my lord, give me thy favour still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly, all hushed is midnight yet.
But to lose our bottle with the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonour in that, monster, but an infinite loss.
There's more to me than my wedding, yet this is your harmless fairy monster.
I will fetch off my bottle, though it be yours for my labour.
Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this land thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for I thy footlicker.
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, King Stephano, oh peer, oh worthy Stephano, look what a wardrobe here is for thee.
Let it alone, thou fool. It is but trash.
Oh, monster, we know what belongs to us for free, oh King Stephano.
Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
The dropsy drown this fool. What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first. If he wake from toe to crown, he'll fill our skins with pinchers, make us strange stuff.
Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line? Now, jerkin, you are like to lose your hair and prove a bald jerkin.
Do, we steal by line and level, like your grace.
I thank thee for that jest. Here's a garment for it, which shall
Monster
not go
cub.
unrewarded.
Oh, no, sorry.
Which shall not go unrewarded while I'm king of this country. Steal by line and level is an excellent pass of paid. There's another garment for it.
Monster cub, put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
I will have none on't. We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers. Help to bear this away while my hogshead of wine is, or turn you out of my kingdom. Go on, carry this.
And this.
Oh, and this. A noise of hunters is heard. Various spirits enter disguised as dogs and hounds, hunting them around. Prosper and Ariel follow them, urging the dogs on.
Hey, mountain! Hey!
Silver, there goes Silver.
Fury, there, tyrant, there! Hark, hark!
The spirits drive out Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo.
Urge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, shorten up their sinews with aged cramps, and more pinch-spotted make them than pard or Catamountain.
Hark, they roar.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labours end, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. Follow and do me service.
They all exit. Act 5, Scene 1. Enter Prospero in his magic robes, along with Ariel.
How does my project gather to a head? My charms crack not. My spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage.
On the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease.
I did say so, when first I raised the Tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them, all prisoners, sir, in the lion grove which weather fends your cell. They cannot budge till you are released. The king, his brother, and yours abide all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. But chiefly him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo. His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charms so strongly worksome that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would, sir, were I human.
Mine shall. Which art but ere a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply, be kindly as sharply passion as they, be kindly moved than thou art? A high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason, gatest my fury, do I take part, the rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. The sole drift of my purpose does extend, not a frown further. Release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore. Be themselves.
I'll fetch them, sir.
Ariel exits. Prospero
Eve.
traces a circle on the ground with his staff.
Elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. You demi-puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites, and you whose pastime it is it midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid, weak masters though ye be, I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the multitudinous winds, and twixt green sea and the azured bolt set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder I have given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. Promontory I have made shake, and by the spurs plucked up, the pine and cedar, graves at my command, have waked their sleepers oped, and let them forth by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here adjure. Required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for. My staff, 13 fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book.
Solemn music plays. Ariel enters, followed by Alonso, who's gesturing frantically. He's attended by Gonzalo, Sebastian, and Antonio in the same way, and they're also accompanied by Adrian and Francisco. They all enter the circle that Prospero has drawn and stand there charmed, which Prospero, observing, says the following.
Solemn air and the best comforter. To an unsettled fancy cured thy brains, now useless, boiled within thy skull. There stand, for you are spell stopped. Oh, honourable man, mine eyes even sociable to the show of thine drops. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir, to him you followst. Graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly, Alonso, use me and my daughter as a furtherer in the act. Thou art pinched for't now, Sebastian. But you, brother mine, that entertained ambitious, spelled remorse and nature, who with Sebastian, which is therefore our most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, although thou art. Our understanding begins to swell. An approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. That yet looks on me, or would know me, Ariel. Fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. I will decase me, and myself present, as I was sometime in Milan. Thou shalt ere long be free.
Ariel sings and helps Prospero to get dressed.
Is this a song? I think this is a
It
song.
is.
Oh boy. Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip spell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry, on the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily, merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough.
Why, that's my dainty Ariel. I shall miss thee. Shalt have freedom. So. Invisible as thou art. Find the mariners asleep under the hatches, the master and the boatswain. Force them to this place, and presently, I prithee.
I drink the air before me, and return, or ere your pulse beat twice.
Ariel exits.
All torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country.
Hold, Sir King, the wronged Duke of Milan, Prospero. Assurance that a living prince does now speak to thee. Thy body, and to thee, thy company, I bid a hearty welcome.
He embraces Alonso.
Whether thou best he or no, or some enchanted tridle to abuse me, as late as I have been, I know not. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, which, I fear, a madness held me. This must craved, and if this be at all a most strange story, thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honour cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. My friends all, you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness's frown upon you, and justify you traitors. At this time, I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in him.
No, for you, most wicked sir, whom to call brother would even infect my mouth, do forgive thy rankest fault. All of them. Require my dukedom of thee, which perforce, I know.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, who 3 hours since we wrecked upon the shore, or I have lost. How sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
Woe fault, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
Rather than think you have not sought her help, of whose soft grace for like loss I have her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You like the loss.
Great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss. Have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you? Have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, that they were living both in Naples, the king and queen there, that they were. I wish myself were mudded in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
The last tempest. I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason and scarce think. Their eyes do offices of truth, breath, but howsoever you have been justled from your senses, for certain that I am Prospero, and that very Duke which was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore where you were wrecked was landed, to be the Lord on't. This for 'tis a chronicle my day, not a relation for a breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. This sells my court. Here I have a few attendants, and subjects none abroad. In my dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite you with as good a thing. Or for wonder, to content ye as much as my dukedom.
At this moment, Prospero uncovers Ferdinand and Miranda's chest.
Oh, muteth. Sweet lord, you play me false.
No, my dearest one, I would not well.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now, all the blessings of a glad father compass about. Arise and say how thou camest here.
Oh,
Oh,
wonder. Oh,
how
sorry.
many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is, O brave new world that has such people in it.
It's new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that hath severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. I chose her when I could not ask my father for his advice, nor thought I had one. She is daughter to this famous Duke of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown, but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life, and second father this lady makes him to me.
I am hers, but oh, how oddly it will sound that I must ask my child forgiveness.
Sir, stop. Let us not burthen our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoke ere this. Look down, you God, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say, Amen, Gonzalo.
Was Milan thrust from Milan that his issue should become kings of Naples? Oh, rejoice beyond a common joy, and set it down with gold on lasting pillars. In one voyage did Claribel her husband find at Tunis, and Ferdinand her brother found a wife, where he himself was lost. Prospero his dukedom in a poor isle, and all of ourselves, when no man was his own.
Give me your hands. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so, amen.
Ariel enters with the master and the boatswain, who are following in amazement.
Oh, look, sir, here's more of us. I prophesied, if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. Now, blasphemy that swears grace overboard. Not an oath on shore? Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave our split, is tight and yare and bravely rigged as when we first put to sea.
Sir, all this service have I done since I went.
By tricksy spirit.
These are not unnatural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither? If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'll strive to tell you. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches. Where, but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible, we were awakened. Straightway at liberty, where we, in all her trim, freshly beheld our royal, good, and gallant ship, our master capering to eye her on a trice, So to please you, even in a dream, we were divided from them, and we were brought here, moping hither.
Lost well done.
Bravely, my diligence, thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er man trod, and there is this business more that nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with beating on the strangeness of this business. At picked leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which to you shall seem probable, of every these happened accidents. Till when, then, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Spirit, set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell.
Ariel exits.
How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company. Lads that you remember not.
Ariel enters again, driving in Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo in their stolen clothes. Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself. For all is but fortune. Coraggio, bully monster, coraggio!
If these be true spurs which I wear in my head, here's a goodly sight.
Oh, Setebos, these be brave spirits indeed. How fine my master is! I'm afraid he will chastise me. What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will money buy 'em?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish and no damn bull.
Mark but the badges of these men, my lords, then say if they be true. This misshapen knave, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flows and ebbs, and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me. The devil, for he's a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness,
I shall be pinched to death.
Is this not Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is really ripe. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded them? How camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw you last that I fear me will never out of my bones shall not fear fly blown.
Why? How now, Stefano?
Oh, touch me not. I'm not Stefano, but a cramp.
you'll be king of the isle, sirrah?
We should have been a sore one then.
Is disproportioned in his manners and in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell, companion, as you look to have my pardon. Trim it handsomely.
Ay, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I, to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Two, away.
Hence, and bestow your luggage where you found it.
Or stole it, rather.
Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo exit.
I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which, part of it, I'll waste with such discourse as, I not doubt, shall make it go quick away. The story of my life, and the particular accidents gone by, since I came to this isle. And in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I have hoped to see the nuptial of these dear beloved solemnized. And thence retire me to Milan. Third fort shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ears strangely.
I'll deliver all. and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sail so expeditious, royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick, that is your charge. Then to the elements. Be free. Fare thou well. You draw near.
And they all exit.
Now that my charms are all o'erthrown, has is mine own, which is no most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver dwell in this bare island by your spell. My bands, with the help of your good hands, of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails. To please. Now I want spirits to enforce, art to enchant. Is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer. Mercy itself, faults, which pierces so that it assaults. Mercy itself, and frees all faults. From crimes would pardoned be. Your indulgence set me free.
And he exits. And it's the end! Yay!
Oh, magnificent. Ariel writes.
Ariel writes.
Yeah, sorry about the aerial. Sorry for everything.
Come on, Prospero.
Oh my god.
God damn it, Prospero. Well, that was fucking magnificent.
That was so
Yeah.
much fun. I loved
Yeah.
it.
That was a ride.
Was
Yeah,
alright.
fun time play part 2. The not cursed day. Even though there were the occasional slip up of mutes and such. But that's fine.
and the very subtle lines. Very subtle.
Yeah.
Hardly anyone noticed, I think.
The uncursed day. The uncursed play on the uncursed day. Yay.
Hey.
So,
Yay.
probably most of you watching are just here for Croakspeare anyway. But in case you're not, we are a group of people on Discord who were inspired by Oliver Thorne, also known as Philosophy Tube, when he did his Shakespeare stream for charity. So we decided, hey, let's do that and read Shakespeare on Twitch. So now we are. And this is not how it usually goes. We usually have a full cast of people, and everything's very perfect and excellent, and there's very few slip ups, but you know.
We don't mess up the final monologue.
Yeah. And you know, there was the one time we made a mistake and didn't turn VODs on, so King Lear is lost to the ether, but that's just one thing. So anyway, this
We're
was
learning.
just fun time play. This was fun time Croakspeare. This was a thing that I made up. I'm Crow, by the way, if you don't know me. I made this up. We did it yesterday. Yeah, F for King Lear. F for the Yeehaw Fool who made a reappearance. Good old Trinculo. Yeehaw Fool is bad.
Yeehaw Fool works.
It does. I don't know what it is. Okay, we're gonna raid Izzy when we're done. So if we go down the line and we just introduce ourselves, and if we want to plug anything and say who we played, which for everyone was like at least 3 characters.
Yep.
By the way, Sarah, I hope your voice is okay because Prospero talks so fucking much.
It's fine, like
He's got some good monologues, but god damn, does he need to shut up?
the first part of the play, I was just sort of like scrolling down, and I was like, "When do I get a rate?" Okay, right. So he talks to Miranda, and then he talks to Ariel, and then he talks to Caliban, and it's just like,
You don't get
why?
until intermission, mate. So we'll go down the line, and it's starting with me. Hi, I'm Crow. I was playing Ariel, my absolute babe, whomst I love with everything that I am. Ariel writes. I've also played Trinculo. We brought the Yeehaw Fool back for some more Shakespeare. And I also played the Mariners and Adrian, who had like 6 lines. So I don't have anything to plug. You can find me on Twitter posting not actually funny comments underneath Croakspeare tweets and not doing anything else. And you can find me on the Discord. I'm pretty much always on here. So yeah, aerial rights are the only thing that matters.
Ariel right.
Aaron writes.
So next on the list is Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I played Ferdinand and Antonio, who I made him like this because why not? It kind of sounds kind of evil. And then I also played Stefano, who I'm quite enjoying as the alternative to the Yeehaw Fool, is the Uar Fool, or the Uar Drunkard.
Uar Fool. We've got the Yeehaw Fool, the Uar Fool, who are now going to
The Uar Drunkard. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. The only thing I really have to plug is that I am organising a Comic-Con. So if you want to come to Bournemouth in 2 weeks' time, then come to that.
Ooh.
And I have been procrastinating very wildly this evening, doing this instead of working. So I should probably get back to work.
Oh boy, it's fun
Oh
procrastinating.
boy. Sorry?
It's fun procrastinating though.
It is. It's. I am engaging my mind in learning stuff. It's good procrastinating.
Yeah,
Doing Shakespeare.
doing Shakespeare. It's
I never
technically.
thought I never thought that I would be doing Shakespeare as procrastination.
Yeah,
Or
it's
something
an
that I used to
interesting kind of.
procrastinate from when I was at school.
Yeah, same. So next on the list
Anyway,
is
that's me.
Sarah.
Oh, I'm Sarah. I played Prospero, who is cancelled.
He's cancelled so hard.
We all know he's cancelled.
Fucking
As I said,
Prospero.
sorry.
Ariel gave Prospero rights, but he didn't deserve them.
Yeah.
Prospero did not deserve those rights.
I also played the Shipmaster and Iris, who hopefully were on short enough that they didn't get cancelled. So, 2/3 uncancelled. Haven't got anything really to plug. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Awesome. It was a fun time. So, thank you.
Okay, next is
Thank
Eric.
you, Sarah. That
who's
was cool.
not here. Eric abandoned ship, which is fair enough. So actually, next up is Lee.
Hello. I'm Lee. I played the bosun, Francisco, and the King of Naples, Alonso, which I spent some time talking to myself, which was a thing. That was interesting. I don't have anything really to plug. I really enjoyed Shakespeare, and I was drunk all the way through this play, so hopefully I didn't.
Oh boy. Well, I didn't hear it. I did not know that.
It's like I thought I had signed up for all the plays, and it's like, oh, we're just doing this together.
Yeah, it was just impromptu. It was like, you know what, the Tempest is cool. It's a full moon tonight. Let's do spooky shit. And then we did.
It's like, yeah. So I drank half a bottle of wine while playing these characters, and don't really have anything to plug, but be sure to take your meds and eat something and drink something, especially you, self. You need to drink some water and maybe take some ibuprofen too. All right.
Next on the list is Tenchi.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tenchi. I played Miranda, Gonzalo, and Ceres, and yeah, I don't have anything to plug.
Yeah, fair enough. Unfortunately, Leo had to go, so Leo played Sebastian, Caliban, and Juno. and did a fucking brilliant job, let's just say.
Mm.
And I'm assuming that he doesn't have anything to plug, but Leo is great, and I love him. So, other than that, the next big actual cool stream that you're going to want to actually watch instead of watching a bunch of people dick around doing the Tempest or the Scottish play, is going to be, I think, next weekend at some point. The time hasn't been pinned down exactly, but it'll be somewhere from Wednesday to Monday next. Well, the 18th. I remember the 18th is somewhere in there. I don't remember the rest of the days, but I know that that one's in there. So it'll be somewhere around there. And that's going to be Much Ado About Nothing. So hope y'all show up for that, because it's going to be a fucking blast. If I get Claudio, I promise I'll bring back the yeehaw accent again. So, other than that, we're going to raid Izzy.
Woo!
Because Izzy is streaming right now to get to TwitchCon, I believe. Yes, we're bringing the audio into the Much Ado. And so we're gonna go do that. And other than that, I guess just have a nice evening or morning or whatever. Yeah, have a good time, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching and putting up with us.
I love that.
I see that stream has done a lot of work outside of just that stream.
Croakspeare Theater Company, brava, brava. I hope you had an amazing performance or hangout today, whatever you were doing. I love that you made an actual channel after it. That's so wonderful.
Going to drop that a follow real quick.
Good old Croakspeare. So if anyone was around for last night, I decided in the name of good comedy and continuation, for my night crew, I didn't have a skeleton, and I didn't have a frog, but I have a waist-to-head bust of Batman, whose name is Batmannequin, and he took over for our night game. And chat made me put my kitty cat earphones on Batmannequin. So it was Batman, but with pink gamer girl earphones.
Your cat eventually jumped up onto
If this
Batman
doesn't
as well.
get the donation amount even, I'm leaving. Swear to God.
Where is